Hello there, this is Elizabeth Gravina. Welcome to Sacris, a Brazilian Catholic channel. Our reading today is The Way by Josemaria Escrivá. Persevere in prayer. Persevere even when your efforts seem barren. Prayer is always fruitful. Your mind is sluggish. You try to collect your thoughts in God's presence, but it is useless. There is a complete blank. Don't try to force yourself and don't worry. Look, some moments are for your heart. Engrave in your memory those words which struck you while praying, and repeat them slowly many times throughout the day. He spent the holy night in prayer to God. So St. Luke tells of our Lord. And you, how often have you persevered like that? Well, then, if you don't keep in touch with Christ in prayer and in the bread, how can you make him known to others? I well understand you when you write, every day I do my few minutes of prayer. If it weren't for that, a saint without prayer, I don't believe in such a sanctity. Plagiarizing the words of another writer, I will tell you that your apostolic life is worth what your prayer is worth. If you are not a man of prayer, I don't believe in the sincerity of your intentions when you say that you work for Christ. You have told me sometimes that you are like a clock out of order, which strikes at the wrong moment. You feel cold, dry, and arid at the time of your prayer, and on the other hand, when it is least to be expected, in the street, in the midst of your daily activities, in the bustle and hubbub of the city, or in the concentrated calm of your professional work, you find yourself praying at the wrong moment. Possibly, but don't waste those chimes of your clock. The Spirit breathes where He will. I had to smile at the impatience of your prayer. You were telling Him, I don't want to grow old, Jesus, to have to wait so long to see you. Then perhaps I won't have a heart as inflamed as mine is now. Then seems too late. Now my union would be more ardent, for I love you with the pure love of youth. I like to see you live in that ambitious reparation. The world, you say, very good, but first of all, the members of your supernatural family, your own relations, the people of your country. You were saying to him, you mustn't trust me, but I do trust you, Jesus. I abandon myself in your arms. There I leave all that is mine, my weaknesses, and I think it is a good prayer. The prayer of a Christian is never a monologue. Minutes of silence. Leave silence for those whose hearts are dry. We Catholics, children of God, speak with our Father who is in heaven. Don't neglect your spiritual reading. Reading has many saints. You write, in my spiritual reading, I build up a store of you. It looks like a lifeless heap, but I often find that my memory of its own accord will draw from it material which fills my prayer with life and inflames my thanksgiving after communion. Chapter 4. Holy Purity. Holy purity is given by God when it is asked for with humility. How beautiful it is, holy purity, but it is not holy, nor pleasing to God if we separate it from charity. Charity is the seed that will grow and yield rich fruit under the fertile rain of purity. Without charity, purity is barren, and its sterile waters turn the soul into a swamp, into a cesspool from which rises the stench of pride. Purity, they ask, and they smile. They are very people who approach marriage with worn-out bodies and disillusioned minds. I promise you a book, if God helps me, which perhaps I will call Celibacy, Marriage, and Purity. There is need for a crusade of manliness and purity to counteract and undo the savage work of those who think that man is a beast, and that crusade is a matter for you. Many live like angels in the midst of the world. Why not you? When you resolve firmly to lead a clean life, chastity will not be a burden for you, it will be a triumphal crown. You, a doctor, an apostle, write to me. We all know by experience that we can be chaste, living vigilantly, frequenting the sacraments and stamping out the first sparks of passion before the fire can spread. And it so happens that among the chaste are found the finest men in every way, and among the lustful predominate the timid, the selfish, the treacherous, and the cruel characters of little manliness. How I would like, you told me, the young Apostle John would take me into his confidence and give me advice, and encourage me to acquire purity of heart. If you really would like it, tell him so, and you will feel encouraged and will receive advice. Overeating is the forerunner of impurity. Don't try to reason with concupiscence. Scorn it. Decorum and modesty are younger brothers of purity. Without holy purity, one cannot persevere in the apostolate. Remove, Jesus, that filthy crest of sensual corruption which covers my heart, so that I can feel and readily follow the touches of the Paraclete on my soul. Never speak of impure things or events, not even to lament them. Remember that such matter is stickier than pitch. Change the subject, or, if that is not possible, continue with it, speaking of the need and the beauty of purity, a virtue of men who know the value of their souls. Don't show the cowardice of being brave. Take to your heels. The saints were not abnormal beings, cases to be studied by a modernistic doctor. They are normal, of flesh like yours, and they won. The flesh though dressed in silk. This is my only comment when I see you waver before the temptation that hides its impurity under pretexts of art, of science, of charity. This is my only comment set in the words of an old proverb. The flesh is flesh, though dressed in silk. If you only knew what you are worth, it is St. Paul who tells you, you have been bought at a great price. And he adds, that is why You should use your body for the glory of God. When you have sought the company of a sensual satisfaction, what longness afterwards? And to think that for the satisfaction of a moment which left in your dregs of bitterness, you have lost the way. What a wretched man am I! Who will rescue me from this body doomed to death? The cry St. Paul's. Courage, he too had to fight. At the time of temptation, think of the love that awaits you in heaven. Foster the virtue of hope. This is not a lack of generosity. Whatever happens, there is no need to worry as long as you don't consent, for only the will can open the door of the heart and let that corruption in. You seem to hear a voice within you saying, that religious prejudice, and then the eloquent defense of all the weaknesses of our poor fallen flesh. Its rights. When this happens, tell the enemy that there is a natural law and the law of God, and also hell. Domini, Lord, si vis potes me mundare. If thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. What a beautiful prayer for you to say often, with the faith of the poor leper. When there happens to you what God and you and I know, you will not have to wait long to hear the Master's reply. Volo mundare, I will, be thou made clean. To defend his purity, Saint Francis of Assisi rolled in the snow. Saint Benedict threw himself into a thorn bush. Saint Bernard plunged into an icy pond. You, what have you done? The spotless purity of John's whole life makes him strong before the cross. The other apostles fly from Golgotha. He, with the Mother of Christ, remains. Don't forget that purity strengthens and invigorates the character. The battle front. A group of some 20 officers singing together in gay and noble comradeship. The songs come quickly, one after another. That young lieutenant with the brown mustache only heard the first. I have no use for divided hearts. I give mine whole and not in parts. What reluctance to give my whole heart. And his prayer rose up in a broad and peaceful flow. Chapter 5. Heart. You give me the impression that you are carrying your heart in your hands, as if you were offering goods for sale. Who wants it? If it takes no creature's fancy, you will come and give it to God. Do you think that is how the saints acted? Creatures for you, creatures for God. If for you, then let it be for God's sake. Why stoop to drink in the pools of worldly consolation when you can quench your thirst in waters that spring up into life everlasting? Detach yourself from people and things until you are stripped of them. For, says Pope St. Gregory, the devil has nothing of his own in this world, and naked he comes to battle. If you go clothed to fight him, you will soon be pulled to big ground, for he will have something to catch you by. It's as if your guardian angel were saying to you, you fill your heart with so much human attachment, and that then is what you want your guardian to guard.